Hi friends and welcome to my Flosstube. My name is Paula. You can find me on Instagram as the 502 Stitcher. Today is Friday, May 9th, 2025. If you're new here, I hope you like what you'll see, subscribe and stay around. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate you coming back and watching all my videos. Today is Flosstube number 43. I am going to talk to you about my mania plans. I am doing WIP Maynia, so I've pulled out 5 of my WIPs, and I am working on them for at least 1 hour a day during the Monday through Friday, and then giving myself grace on the weekends. So I'll talk to you about that, and then I have 1 new start, 2 finishes, and a couple WIPs that I worked on, so I'll show you all of those. And before we do that, I guess we'll go ahead and jump in here with a little life update. If you celebrated Easter, I hope you had a wonderful Easter. We did, of course, baskets at home for my 3 kids, and then we went over to my mother-in-law's and we had dinner with her. The kids did a little Easter egg hunt. Not my oldest, he's 15 now, so he didn't want to do it, but my girls did, and then we had this family time with my sister-in-laws and my nephew and my mother-in-law, and then we just came home and relaxed and all that stuff. Another thing we did, my son wanted to go to Mammoth Cave. We are about, I think, an hour and 40 minutes or whatever from Mammoth Cave, so I asked my brother if he wanted to go with us, and we went and did that. I'll tell you about that. Before we went down there, because they're an hour and 40 minutes away, and like I said, an hour 45 minutes away, and I'm used to traveling 2 hours up to Cincinnati with my daughter, but we usually need to stop, so I always give myself extra time. And so we were there almost an hour early, so we went to Kentucky Stonehenge. I just took my brother there. It's basically somebody in their yard has made a little Stonehenge, so we went and did that to, wasting time before we had, our tour or whatever, but, excuse me. So I'll insert pictures of that so you can see that. It's something neat to see. My brother was like, this isn't somebody's yard. I'm like, you're allowed to go. They have a little, circle that you can pull up in and look at it and all that stuff. So it was something interesting to see, something you don't see every day. In Lower Kentucky somewhere, there's supposed to be a giant fork, and it's supposed to be the fork in the road. I would love to go see that, but I just don't want to drive that far for a fork. But if I'm ever in the area, I will definitely be going to look for that. But like I said, we went to Mammoth Cave, and my son was wanting to go, and I've done 3 of the different 2-hour tours, and it's been no big deal. Take it, I was like 20 years old, my late teens, and a little bit, less weight kind of thing, but they were no big deal. You walk through it, you're good to go. But so I thought, no big deal. This one says difficult, but oh well. It's 4 hours, 4 miles. That's why it's difficult. And it had like 1,600 stairs. And one of the tours, you do climb, 500 or 600 stairs to get out of the cave, and it wasn't that big of a deal. So I thought, 1,600 stairs, no big deal. We can do it. They weren't lying. It was difficult. The reason I think it was difficult, because you are practically power walking and jogging that entire 4 hours. And I walk in our neighborhood, I probably do about 2 miles to 2.5 miles a day, and I'm fine. But I'm kind of, doing more of my pace, but whatever. But, sorry, my throat's getting dry. I don't talk a lot, and then I get on here, my throat gets dry. But, so we did that. I was sore for the next 3 days. Going up my stairs, down my stairs was awful. But we had a lot of fun. We were definitely tired. And it wouldn't have honestly been bad if they would make it 5 hours, and then you didn't have to run through the cave. But we did it. We survived, barely, but we survived, and we had a lot of fun. And I'll insert some pictures, hopefully either in the beginning or around here, of some things we saw. Part of this tour, it was a Green Avenue tour. There was a bathroom in the cave system, so I took a picture of that. I found it very interesting. And also where people back, I think it was in the early 1900s, late 1800s, they did smoke signatures in the cave. And there was one of them in the cave, and I was like, I think his name was JOC or JCO or something. I was like, I wonder if he knows that his name is now in the ladies' restroom. But so, like, that was something to see. So I thought it was interesting. So we did that. And it also had the snowball room. It had we saw a lot of gemstone. I think gemstone in the cave was sparkly. It was really pretty. We went on the part where it was the Grand Avenue, I think is what it's called. And the Frozen Niagara was part of that tour. So, we saw all that and it was really pretty. A lot of formations in that last part of with the Frozen Niagara. And they also said that also President Reagan, when he was in office, he came to the cave and was the only president to ever come to the cave. And he walked the part of the Frozen Niagara. So they call it the presidential tour. So I just found that kind of interesting. I did really enjoy the tour because they gave quite a bit of history of the cave system and different things like that. I think my son's favorite part is when they turn the lights out and you're in the complete darkness. And you got to think about, when they first were finding that cave in the 1800s, they had probably didn't have flashlights, because that's not what they had back then, so they had probably sticks with lights and stuff. And then now the cave, where you walk, it's cleared out and they have either concrete laid or paths laid where you walk on it. But back then, they literally were climbing over these giant boulders and rocks and stuff with just barely any light. And, throughout the cave, there's places where it just drops down and all that kind of stuff. So, it was really amazing that they did that back in the day, and then we're getting it, where they could make money off the tours and all that stuff. So, I thought it was really interesting. And also, they talked about one thing I thought was kind of cool. In Kentucky, I don't remember he said that Kentucky's one of the only states or whatever, but in Kentucky, when you own land, you own it all the way to the core of the earth. So when people own the land above the cave, they also own the land in the cave. So back in the day, people were really sneaky about going on other people's land and stuff like that. And, so it was hard for them to map the caves in the early days because you were trespassing on people's land. But so we did that. Lots of fun. Definitely a workout. So my brother said that he wants to really try to get physically fit this year and try it next year so it doesn't beat us. I said it didn't beat us because we survived. We came out of the cave. We did the tour. But anyway, sorry. So that was a long thing to say that we did name the cave. Sorry about that. I started coughing and nobody wants to listen to that. So I decided to just cut it out. Spare you from listening to that. Allergies are kicking my butt. I'm sure if you live in an allergy prone area, you understand the coughing and the sniffles. It's bad out there. Everything blooming. I am feeling better, but I still have the cough hanging around, that never ending cough that will not go away. Also, with the end of the school year is coming up, the kids have 11 days if you count today. My oldest is definitely every day giving me a report of how many days they have left and how many school bus rides he has. So he's not looking forward to summer at all. My middle kiddo, she is graduating 5th grade, so she has lots of activities coming up. They are having a 5th grade cookout, a field day. They are taking a field trip up to Indianapolis to go to the Children's Museum. They are doing a graduation ceremony, so we went out and got her a fancy dress for that. So she's just looking forward to it, and it's going to have so much fun. We have another trip up to Cincinnati. We had one last week, and like I said, we have another one coming up. We're going to do an overnight trip, just me and my daughter with that one, because a couple appointments back to back and stay in a Ronald McDonald house. So I'll take some pictures of that and show you what the Ronald McDonald house up there is like. It's such a magical place. And then also I don't want to say her name because I didn't ask at the time, but I was having a rough day last week, one of those trips to Cincinnati, and I got the sweetest message from one of you guys. So I just want to say thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to message me such kind words. It really brought a smile to my face and uplifted my spirits, and just made me feel wanted. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate. Thank you for taking the message and taking the time to write the message. So I just appreciate it. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump in here with Mania. I am doing WIP Maynia this year. It's what I did last year. A little bit of it. I had originally thought about starting maybe Christmas ornaments or something small, but I thought no, because I'm working on getting my WIPs down this year. So I just decided to do full out, because we got so much going on this month, to go ahead and just do full out WIP Maynia. So I picked 5 projects. 2 of them are my WIP goes called for the month of May, and then I picked 3 more projects. My goal is to work on them for at least 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. I have not quite been doing that. I kind of been picking a couple of projects and working on them for 2 or 3 days, but they'll get worked on eventually. So there's only 1 of the 5 that I haven't worked on at all yet. So what I did before I started working on them, besides 1, because I started on it before I thought about it, I took a picture of where they were, and then I planned to the end of the month to show you where they were and where they are. So my very first one was a WIP go. It is from Stitching with the Housewives. It is one of the season chalks that was in Cross Stitch, just Cross Stitch magazine, like 2016. Excuse me. I'll have to insert a picture of it because I only have my working copy with it. And then I also put in the picture of where I was. And then, see, hopefully I do that so you can see where it is. And this is where I am now. So I did quite a bit on that. This is on a 14 count black Ada. I am not doing the call for colors. I kind of just pick colors out of my stash that looks like the pictures, because I think, if I remember right, this one had like Classic Colorworks called, or maybe Gentle Arts or something, and I just picked one out of my stash for DMC. But here it is. So I got pretty much all that. I got all the flag done, and I had a little bit of the flag post started, I think, and then so I worked on quite a bit of that. So I think I worked on like 3 or 4 days of this, but really happy with the progress going with that. And like I said, this is one of my WIP Manias, and I dropped my pen. I'll just put it over there. My second one is Cherry Hill Blue House Neighborhood, and I do have a picture of this one right here. And I don't know what it is about this project. We go round and around. So what's up? I've made so many mistakes on this and had to rip out so much. I was a lot further. I had all the grass done on this and had to rip it all out. So what I've done on this one so far is just this part, like right here over. And I've ripped this out 2 or 3 times, and then I had to rip all this out yesterday, and I said, forget it, I'm done. I'm walking away from this. So I'll pick this up next week. But it is not any of the call for. This is 28 count Coffee Tea Dad Monaco, and then colors for my stash. But I'm over halfway done with this, so I just need to buckle down, quit making so many mistakes, and get it done. It's very pretty. I just, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. What I did yesterday, instead of doing 2 over 2, I was like half a stitch off, so I had to like rip all that out. I was so upset. But like I said, that is that. And I've had nothing but problems out of that project. And like, I know it's me, it's not the work. It's beautiful, and lots of people have done it, but I'm just having problems with it. And the next 3 are ones I picked out for my WIP, like I said. This is Bluebird to Happiness. I need to rip some stuff out of this one also. I am doing, or this, sorry, let me show you this. Bluebird to Happiness. And the reason why I need rip out, I'm using the DMC conversion of this, and one of the colors, I must have picked the wrong one. It was like, let's see. Yeah, I was supposed to pick 315, and I picked 316 for some reason. And the color is very, very different. So I'm going to rip that out. I did find a 315, and I'm going to rip and change that out. And I just dropped on my floss, so ignore me. But this is what I got done. Sorry. This is on a 16 count, and I want to say the colorway is Ancient. And I'm using, like I said, I'm using the DMC conversions. And what I'm going to rip out are these right here. Like, if you can tell, that's a huge difference. And while on this one, while they are different, they're not a huge stark difference. So I am going to rip that out and put in the 315, which I pulled out. And it is much darker than that bright. I don't know why I pulled the wrong colors, but who knows? I might have thought I got 315 and I really got 316. Who knows? Because you know sometimes the flosses are in the wrong little bins or whatnot. But that is trucking along. It's another project for some reason I just have like a wall up on it I don't want to work on. And then another one I have is, I'll have to insert a picture of this one because I only have my working copy. This is from Hello with Liz Matthews, and it is Bluebird and Baskets and Butterfly. Basket and Butterfly, sorry, I had it written down. This is what I have on this one. This one I am doing 28 count white Monaco, and I am doing a DMC blue. I want to say she had silks with hers. And I am doing 824 DMC. And I worked on this flower and finished up this one. I ended up finding out I made a mistake in this and had to rip a lot of this out and redo that, but got that done. So I think I have a little bit more over here to do, and then the other side, and then do the border and the butterflies, and I'll be done. I can dream that I can get this done this month, can't I? And my last Mania project is Evening Shades of the Garden by Blackbird Design. This is my unicorn chart, and as sad as it is, I have not touched it since I first got it in the mail. I'll have to insert a picture of it because I only have a working copy, not an actual chart in it. I am doing the call for colors. Besides, I'm changing the flower colors to purple. They are like pinks and reds, and I decided to do purple because it's my favorite color. I'm doing sampler thread from Gentle Arts, Hyacinth, and Purple Iris. So for now, that's the colors I decided to pick. I am doing this on 16 count Legacy and by Picture This Plus. And I haven't worked on this yet, so this is exactly where I am to start for Mania. But hopefully today I'll be able to get some time to work on it, and if not this weekend, and get some progress done on it. I had originally got Legacy linen. It was marked Lugana, but it was linen, and I love the fabric, so I decided to go ahead and try some of the Ada, and I really like it also. Now I have my finishes. This first one is Primrose Cottage Stitches freebie for April. Sorry. And I had got the kit from them, so I have the call for fabric, call for floss, which was Classic Colorworks and a couple of DMC. And I think the cloth is like 28 count Iceland. It is supposed to have words at the bottom, but I started it too close to the bottom, so I didn't have room. But that's okay. The words, I don't really need the words, but I do plan to turn it into a pillow like they did. I just need to find some fabrics to do it, but that's really cute. If you're not a member or subscribe to their newsletter, definitely do it. They've been sending out freebies once a month on the first Friday, and they're really cute. This next one is How Darth a Busy Bee by Modern Folk Embroidery. It is done on, I want to say it's a 16 count, I think, colorway Dust. I'm sorry if it's the wrong color. And then I did Pirates and Robins and the colorway Daffodil. So that turned out really, really cute. It's my first time doing like such a variegated floss, and I thought it was really pretty, but can't get that one done and hung up. And the next the next one that I did or have is for my WIPs, and this is my WIP Go call for the month of April. It is To All a Goodnight by Stitching with the Housewives. It is on a 14 count black Ada. I'm doing a combination of call for colors and then DMC conversion, so I guess I'll leave that up. And honestly, for the month of April, I did not get it much done. I did do the call for that they or my goal is to do it for 3 days for an hour each, so I did do that. I think I finished the word all and then a couple of these snowflakes and then started on the tree, so I didn't make much progress, but progress is progress. So I need to make myself pull it out and do some more. Maybe I'll do it in July. I'll do like Christmas in July and work on all my Christmas projects. Next is my next WIP is by the Stitch Pattern people on Etsy, and it is Best Mom Ever. And I have been working on the fill-in. I'm trying to do 15 rows on each side of it to be able to frame it. So I just have this section over here, and then I'm done. I think I did the math and it was like 1,500 stitches left, so not terribly a lot. Still a lot, but not terribly. Sorry about that. And I think the last time I showed it to you, I was way over in here. So I've like filled in quite a bit. I've been taking it to the bus, and then when my daughter has physical therapy, I take it and work on it then. But I need to, make a couple more days and really dedicate myself to it and try to get knocked out. So, sorry, Mom, you're probably not going to have it by Sunday. But hopefully by the end of the year, maybe, or next Mother's Day, I'll get it done. And lastly, I have one new start. I have started this for my anniversary. It is All Things Grow with Love by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I am making lots of changes to this one. My favorite color is purple. I told you that already, but our wedding colors were purple and green, so I plan to change all of the pink to purple. I did decide to keep the strawberries, the red, because purple strawberries would be weird. I am doing this on 28 count light taupe, and this is what I have done so far. Thought that was really pretty. I'd originally kind of thought about making this one my WIP goes, or for Mania, and I was like, no. So, because it was kind of a new start, and pull out some of the older ones, but good start. Happy to make some progress. I'm going to Cincinnati next week, so I'm thinking about taking that one to work on it. And lastly, I have my haul for you. I did place an order at Primrose Cottage Stitches for their last release that they had. I got the floss pack, the finishing kits for both the Quaker and the quilt. Those little pins are just so cute. And then here is the stitching quilt. The stitching Quaker. And the stitching rolls. Now on this one, on their Flosstube, they did pillows with this one. So I do not plan to do, sorry, I picked up another tarp. I do not plan to do the big finish. I plan to do the pillows, which they're right here. I just don't have anywhere really to put that. I do have the rolls up in my living room, but I don't necessarily want like the stitching one, and I don't have like a crafting room or anything, so I just thought the pillows would be a lot cuter to do. And then I put an order with 123 Stitch. I have Blackbird Designs, Eleanor, Rigsby, and Sweet Baby. This one's done in a lot of different colors. And I think it's supposed to be kind of like a baby type quilt or piece rather. So I kind of thought about doing 3 of these for my kids because they all have, favorite different colors, and they're all done all different. So I kind of thought about that, but I'm not for sure if I have like the gumption or whatever to do 3 of these, but we'll see. I don't know. Kind of thought about it. Keeper of the Pins by With Needle and Thread. And My Little Sampler by Running with Needles and Scissors. And then I also got some fabric. I'm wanting to try some smaller count fabric. I'm not brave enough to try a 36 and 40 count, so I thought about doing some of the 18. And then maybe if I do okay with this, try some 20. This is hand-dyed Fiber on a Whim eggshell. In the back, it's pretty modeled. That was pretty. This one is 18 count Prairie. Has a little bit of modeling, but not much. And then this one is Lichen, 18 count. So I might try some of those new ones, especially the Keeper of the Pins. Do some of those on one of them. And then lastly, I have my Flosstube recommendations. My very first one is Stitching Bee, and that is Ellie. She has some beautiful projects she's working on, so go over there and check her out. And she just celebrated 1,000 subscribers, so congratulations. And then my last one is Cross Stitch Sarah, and that is Sarah. She also has some beautiful projects. I just found her Flosstube recently, and I really enjoyed watching her. So go over and check out both those ladies and give them a follow. I know you'll enjoy them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.